In just a couple of days, we are all going to be ringing in the new year, and hopefully it's a lot better than 2020 in more ways than one. Obviously, 2020 was not the ideal year for pretty much most people, but also Nintendo didn't have the most ideal year, and obviously that's not really that important in the grand scheme of things, but it's what we like to talk about here on this channel, so let's talk about Nintendo's potential 2021. And while eventually I'm going to do a full-on predictions of what I think Nintendo will do in 2021, before I get into those videos, I want to take a moment to just pretend that I'm the CEO of Nintendo. I want to say that, okay, I, Thomas, am in charge of this company and I get to choose every single game that they put out next year. Now, obviously, I can't say they make a game every single day or so. This still has to be somewhat realistic, as in it could feasibly happen. But the possibility of this list happening is pretty much absolutely zero. It's way better than I think anything we've ever gotten, like ever. It would literally be the best year ever to be a Nintendo fan, but that's just what I want to talk about because it's fun to speculate about this sort of thing. So what's going on, guys? It's Thomas from the Switch Shop, and this is what 2021 would be if I was the president of Nintendo and could just choose which games were in development and all that stuff. Essentially, this is my dream 2021 for the Nintendo Switch. I'm gonna go month by month, and there should be timestamps down in the description below if you want to skip to certain months. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. January is a tough one because this is the one month that I feel like they can't really have a new game. I mean, we don't really know of any games for January. The next game we know of will release in February, being 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, so it's kind of hard to predict something for January. If I were in charge of Nintendo, I would have January have a massive direct kind of outlining most of the titles for the year, and in that direct, I would show off a brand new virtual console feature for Nintendo Switch Online. I made an entire video talking about this a little while back. I would reveal that entire thing and shadow drop it the day of the direct, meaning that would kind of be the big release for January. It wouldn't actually be a new game per se, but it would be just a virtual console and a bunch of older games that you can now play on the Switch. Obviously, February is Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. We already know about this game, so it would make sense for me to want it in February because that's when it's releasing. However, what do I actually want to see in 3D World plus Bowser's Fury? More than anything else, I want to see a competent online mode. In my dream 2021, Nintendo kind of embraces online similar to how they did with Super Mario Maker 2, where you can play with friends, you can play with randos, both in a competitive and cooperative environment. You could obviously have ranked Super Mario 3D World where you want to, get to the flagpole first or get the most points, or, you could have different win conditions like that, but you could also have a cooperative mode where you could just play through the campaign as normal with your friends. That would be the absolute dream for me. On top of, Bowser's Fury being sick and maybe adding in a new character and maybe 3D land levels can be remastered as too. I mean, I want a bunch of stuff, but the main thing for me is online because I want that replayability. I want to be able to play this game essentially infinitely. Before we jump into the next month, I quickly want to ask you guys to make sure you're subscribed. We just hit 100,000 subscribers a little bit ago, and that's absolutely insane to me. My literal main goal for this channel was to hit 100,000 subscribers before I graduate high school, and I graduate high school this June. So I got a crazy new goal. It probably won't happen, but it's worth a shot. Can we hit 150,000 subscribers before June? Again, it's an absolutely insane goal, but I think we can reach it. If you want to help us achieve that goal, then make sure you've subscribed. Anyway, sorry about that. Let's get into the rest of the video. Moving on into March, I got 2 games releasing this month. Now, not many months actually have 2 games releasing, and whenever I did do 2 games releasing, I tried to keep it, still somewhat realistic because, theoretically, I could just say release a new game every day, but that just wouldn't make for an entertaining video because it's like, okay, this is literally never gonna happen. The 2 games I have releasing in March are the Triforce Collection for the Zelda Anniversary, which is, a port of 3 older games, being Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword, so it's not that out of the picture to release alongside another game. And the other title releasing in March would be New Pokemon Snap, which technically isn't developed, by Nintendo. It's obviously a Game Freak property, but I think Bandai Namco is developing that, or at least helping out with Game Freak, so it would kind of make sense for Nintendo to release, a weaker title by them, which is a collection of ports, and a title that, isn't even really made by them in the same month. Moving on into April, I have a brand new game because so far obviously we've had Virtual Console, Super Mario 3D World, which is a port, and the Triforce Collection, which is also a port. So I want to switch it up with a new game, and that is a brand new 2D Metroid, probably developed by Mercury Steam. The other thing I have releasing in April is a brand new Super Smash Bros. Fighter. Now there are 3 fighters left in the Fighters Pass, and this one I think is Rayman. He is by far my most wanted fighter. Like, he's the fighter I've wanted since Smash 4. He's the only fighter I've ever, voted in the Fighters ballot, and the only fighter I've ever, truly asked for or campaigned for. Rayman Legends is one of the most underrated games of all time in my opinion, and I would just love to see Rayman get that sort of representation in Smash. Hopping into May, I have one brand new game, although it could be, you know, a remaster. I don't really care. I just want this franchise on Switch in some way, shape, or form that isn't Smash Bros. That is Kid Icarus, potentially Uprising HD, or just a brand new game in the style of Kid Icarus Uprising. Obviously not developed by Masahiro Sakurai because he's still working on Ultimate, but just, you know, that's why I kind of think that a port would be better because, you know, Sakurai doesn't have to direct a port because it's just a port and an upres and all that stuff. I guess it would technically be a remaster because some stuff would have to be reworked, such as pretty much the entire control method. Kid Icarus Uprising is one of Nintendo's best games ever. I think it's an absolutely phenomenal masterpiece that is held back tremendously by the 3DS. The fact that it's not on a console that has 2 analog sticks is insane. I mean, it's literally a twin stick shooter, essentially. I don't know, I could talk about that game forever. I probably will make a video on it eventually. Yeah, in my dream year, that would be the May title. Hopping right on into June. June always seems like the great time to release a Mario sports game, and we've gotten some rumors that a sports game would be coming out, so I guess I'll put that here. I've made it no secret that I just do not care about Mario Golf. I don't know why, it's just never looked interesting to me. However, I would love to see either Mario Super Sluggers, Mario Strikers, or Mario Hoops make some sort of return. I can't really make a final decision here. I'll just say Hoops because that's the one I have the most fond memories of, but I know people love the other 2 titles, so I just like any one of those. Just please not Golf. First thing that I think will happen in July is a brand new game from Monolith Soft. I think it would be cool if we got a Xenoblade Chronicles X port from the Wii U because that game always looked relatively interesting, and then we would have the entire Xenoblade franchise on Switch, at least I think. But maybe it could be a new title because I'm pretty sure they've been working on a new title for a while. I'm not really sure, just some sort of Monolith Soft game. But on top of that, I would love to see a brand new Smash Fighter. July would be the best time for the penultimate Smash Bros. Fighter. I think really it should probably be Crash Bandicoot. I don't really have that much of a connection to Crash, I'm just gonna be honest. I've played a bit of the Insane Trilogy, really did not like it, but it just didn't gel with me personally, I guess. However, I can't deny how iconic that would be. Absolutely insane if Crash Bandicoot could get into Smash, and that's, you know, one of my dream picks, so I'll put it right there. August is a pretty interesting month. I have 2 different games releasing in August. The first one is Bayonetta 3. Now, we've heard about this one forever, and it's kind of weird to put this at an August release, but first of all, this is my dream year, not the year Nintendo will do, so it doesn't really matter. And second of all, there are just so many other titles coming out that I think that, you know, Bayonetta 3 doesn't really need that holiday slot. It probably won't sell that much better in you know, December than it would in August. The second game I have coming out in August is a brand new Star Fox. Please do not remaster/remake Star Fox 64. We've seen that a million jillion times. I just want a brand new Star Fox game. In September, I want a good Mario Party. I'm just gonna leave that right there. If you want to know what I think constitutes a good Mario Party, then check out this video. It's literally 30 minutes of me talking about just that. Suffice it to say, I do not think Super Mario Party is a good Mario Party. I don't even think it's close. I don't think we've gotten a good Mario Party since Mario Party 8. Just, yeah, I would want an actually good Mario Party. In October, we have a massive game. This will probably be a contender for Game of the Year in my dream, you know, year scenario. It's in October because it's looking to be a pretty spooky title. That is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Or what I kind of think it should be called, The Legend of Zelda Curse of the Wild. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be an absolute banger game. I'm currently going to play Age of Calamity with my sister. She got it for Christmas and we're going to play through a bit of it together. Just everything I've seen from her playing it just makes me want to jump back into that entire like game so bad. Like I'm literally probably gonna load up Breath of the Wild and start a new save file soon. So Breath of the Wild 2 honestly cannot come fast enough. In November, this is probably going to be one of the heaviest hitting months for Nintendo ever. Like, sales-wise, this would probably be the best month for Nintendo game sales just of all time. That's because there are 2 titles coming out. Each one is literally Nintendo's 2 biggest franchises. Like, this is absolutely absurd. And the thing is, it's actually possible for both of them to release here. The first one is Mario Kart 9, or how I called it, Mario Kart World. You can look at this logo I mocked up. Obviously, you know, not something Nintendo would actually use, but I sort of really want a kind of single-player Mario Kart game. Now, obviously, it wouldn't be exclusively single player, you could play it in multiplayer too, but I want a huge emphasis to be placed on a single player campaign. Mission mode in DS was cool and all, but I'm thinking something more along the lines of Diddy Kong Racing developed by Rare all the way back for the N64. I've talked about this before and I might make a video on it in the future, but like a legitimate campaign where you race around, you know, race over an overworld and then find different racers. You can upgrade your cart, upgrade your, you know, car parts, your tires, your gliders. Maybe even some RPG mechanics, upgrade your item like chances. You'll beat some enemies in like time trials styles, and then some enemies will be specially designed bosses. Mario Kart World is an absolutely amazing idea in my opinion, and it would differentiate itself from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe so, they could still kind of, exist on the same console. Second game to release in November is Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes. I'm not going to say too much more beyond the fact that if Nintendo does this right, they could be the best-selling Pokemon games of all time, and I truly believe that. The nostalgia is growing crazy. I think that game is like, this is perfect timing for that game. For December, there are two more things releasing. They're both relatively similar, but extremely different at the same time. The first one is Metroid Prime 4. Even considering that, eventually it got restarted and stuff, it's just been in development for a long time. In my dream year, it's ready and released by the end of December. On top of that, I think that Metroid Prime 4 should have a really significant online mode. Nintendo's never really done a first-person shooter online before. Imagine they did something like Halo Online, but with Metroid. I think that would be absolutely sick. It could honestly have that kind of Splatoon-style, movement where you could shift into a morph ball and then roll around. It would give the game a lot more of a, appeal to the public if it had an online, deathmatch-style mode, and Metroid Prime is definitely one of those series that could, benefit from a bit more extra, viewing in the public eye. Last but not least, the thing that I said is kind of related to that, but not. I literally mentioned it while I was describing Prime 4. I want to see the final Smash Bros. Fighter revealed, and I think it should be Master Chief. What better way to end off the greatest crossover event of all time in video games with Nintendo's other, quote-unquote rivals mascot with Master Chief. There's no more iconic character, I believe, that's not already in Smash, and I say that, really earnestly. Master Chief is literally one of gaming's greatest characters, and having him in Smash Bros. Would be an absolute treat. Perfect way to end off the perfect year. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Was that the perfect year for Nintendo? Obviously, I think it was because it's literally what I made, but if you guys have anything different you'd want to see, let me know down in the comments below. On top of that, if you've made it this far, subscribe to the channel. As we jump into early January 2021, I'm going to make videos talking about what I think Nintendo will actually do, so make sure you stick around for that. With that all out of the way, I'm Thomas from The Switched Up, signing off. Peace.